Hello everyone, our story starts in the deep woods of northern Montana following a man named Ethan and his encounter with something unexplained. Do you think this actually happened? Leave a comment below, let's begin. The morning frost cracked under Ethan Dyer's boots as he hiked deeper into the pine-choked forest. He'd parked his truck off a logging trail nearly 3 miles back, tucked in where no one would find it. This was his annual ritual, 1 week alone, just him, nature, and the elk. He wasn't scared of being alone. Quite the opposite, he thrived in it. As a former Marine turned welder, Ethan saw the forest as peace. Isolation was comfort. The trees didn't talk behind your back. The animals didn't lie. By late afternoon, he'd found a perfect overlook near an old shale ridge. He set up camp under a crag of stone, built a lean-to, and checked his gear. His prized possession, a Fluth thermal scope. Top of the line. He liked knowing that even in the pitch black, he could see things that thought they were hidden. The first 2 days were uneventful. Fresh tracks, distant howls. One night, a black bear wandered too close to camp, but Ethan scared it off with a warning shot and a flashlight. Then came night 3. Ethan lay in his sleeping bag, scope resting beside him. The forest was unusually quiet. No wind. No rustle. Even the usual owls had fallen silent. That's when he saw it. Through the scope. A shape. Roughly human. Standing between the trees about 200 yards out. White hot on the thermal. Unmoving. His heart didn't race, not yet. Could be a hiker, maybe a poacher. He watched it for nearly 5 minutes, waiting for it to shift or wave. But it didn't move. It was as if it had appeared from nowhere and simply stood there, observing. He finally flicked his flashlight in its direction and called out. "Hey! You lost?" No response. He looked through the scope again. It was gone. Just gone. No motion. No trace. The trees stood still. The next night, the shape returned. This time it was closer. Same thermal signature, blazing white. But no sound, no breath, no movement. Ethan tried to ignore it, telling himself it was a glitch in the lens. He checked the scope. Clean. Calibrated. He even picked up a squirrel's heat trail on the forest floor. The scope was working fine. He panned back. The figure was now at the edge of camp, 20 feet away. He dropped the scope and raised his rifle. But there was nothing there. Not with the naked eye. Back through the thermal. It was still there. He slowly backed into his lean-to, never breaking line of sight. "You're not real," he whispered. The shape cocked its head. He felt it, like something behind his eyes. Not words, but a presence. Heavy. Ancient. Curious. And then, just like before, it vanished. The forest changed after that. Ethan started seeing the cold spots. In the scope, patches of absolute black. Not cool, not dim, dead. Like the temperature dropped to absolute zero. Nothing reflected. No heat. No life. He walked through one during the day. His breath came out white, his skin prickled. Then his nose bled. His compass spun. The birds didn't return that afternoon. When he returned to camp, he found his lean-to collapsed. His bag torn open. But none of his gear was taken. Just his photographs. Gone. That night it got worse. The shape came back. But this time, it brought others. Through the thermal, Ethan counted 5 heat signatures. They stood in a perfect circle around his camp. Unmoving. Watching. When he turned on his flashlight, nothing. The woods appeared empty. He tried speaking. "What do you want?" One of the figures twitched. The audio in his FLIR headset began to crackle. Not static, whispers. He turned to run. He made it 20 feet before he hit the cold spot. He dropped like a stone, gasping, muscles seizing. In the scope, he saw one of the figures lean down over him. Its face glowed like an overexposed film negative. The mouth didn't move. But Ethan heard it all the same. "You see what others bury. You see what was meant to stay unseen. So now you belong. Ethan woke the next morning in his lean-to. Unharmed. Unmarked. He packed his things and left without eating, hiked until his legs gave out. He didn't stop until he reached his truck, nearly 12 hours later. He never returned to those woods. He sold the fluoroscope. He never hunted again. But sometimes, late at night, Ethan would wake to silence. Not quiet. Not peaceful. Silence. And in that stillness, if he dared to look out the window, he'd see the shapes. Standing. Waiting. And if he raised a camera, a phone, anything digital, they'd be white hot. Burning. Watching. Ethan Dyer was found dead in his home in 2021. His body was untouched, but all electronic devices were fried, thermals melted from the inside out. His final photo on an SD card was a thermal still. 5 white-hot figures standing over him. No eyes. No mouths. Just heat. And behind them? A cold spot. Spreading.